Okay, so this is The Boy in the Wooden Box, Chapter 8, and just the last couple pages, starting at page 148. Last paragraph. While the machinery was being moved by train, Amalia closed, and we, along with the other Jewish workers, were sent back to Plazow to await our turn to join Schindler. I trembled with fear as we passed through those gates of hell on earth. Heartsick, I went back to the same routine as before. Up at 5 in the morning, stand in formation for hours, haul rocks, try to avoid drawing attention to myself, hear and see people being randomly shot. The only difference was now the Nazis' focus had shifted. The Soviet army was drawing closer, and the Germans were throwing their energy into covering their tracks. During the next week, some workers, my brother David among them, had to exhume hundreds of bodies from the mass graves where they had been thrown and burn them. When he returned to the barracks, David was in a state of shock. He struggled to find the words to describe what he had seen. He wept as he told us that he literally had to reach down into the graves, lift out, and carry the decomposing bodies to the burning pyres. We tried our best to comfort him, but we couldn't make the memory of what he had seen or the stench of death that he carried on his clothes and skin go away. David was barely 17. At Plazow, we briefly reunited with my sister, whose factory had also been closed. Of all of us, Peza seemed to have held up the best. She was young and strong and had been protected by her job, but the Nazi in charge of her company had taken his money, fled the area, and left his Jewish workers to their fate in Plazow. Somehow Father dared to approach Schindler with one last request, that his much-loved daughter, whom he had not seen in 2 years, be put on the list of workers going to Brunlitz. Instantly Schindler agreed, and now a fifth member of my family was with us. Our luck seemed simply astonishing. I distinctly remember that the date we left Plazow for the last time. It was October 15th, 1944. My father, brother, and I were packed into a cattle car along with other male workers bound for the Schindler's new factory. We were told the women would follow in a separate train. Guards sealed the doors, leaving us in darkness. We waited. My father, David, and I clutched hands. Suddenly, the train lurched forward, causing us to lose our balance and pile on top of one another. Men cursed and groaned. It seemed the humiliation would never end. We recovered our balance and listened as the train picked up speed and headed west. I saw bits of light coming through the ceiling and walls. I hoped it might be a positive omen. After 6 years, I was leaving Krakow, the city of my childhood dreams, the city that had become a nightmare, and was heading into the unknown.